Okay. Okay.
I don't even know. I thought it was right.
Should we show them?
Yeah.
Okay. So the only difference today from what we did yesterday is yesterday we compounded interest in specific amounts, right? We did it monthly, quarterly. So this is going to be any time it has the word continuously. Continuously, and we're going to use this formula, A equals PE to the RT. So it looks just like yesterday's formula. The only difference is it has an E here. And E is just like pi. It's a constant. It never repeats, and it's on your calculator. So everybody take a look on your handy-dandy calculator. So first of all, if you look on the LN button right here, the LN button is right under the log button. So to get to e to the x, you're going to push the shift button, and it'll give you e to the x. And then you can use that in your calculations. Okay? If you just want the letter E, if you just need the letter E, it's all the way at the bottom. And if you look, it's right here and it's red. So you would push the red button instead of the yellow button to get just the E. Okay? Does everybody see that? Okay. Okay. So the next thing, friends, is this. Just like everything we've done, we're going to round our final answer to 3 decimal places, unless it's what? Money, and then we go to 2. Okay? People, what do we go to? Whole numbers. Okay. So let's take a look. You invest $1,300. So here's what we need. We need A, P, R, and T. Okay. I don't know what all the talking is. I feel like I'm shouting over people that I shouldn't have to be. You invest $1,300. Is that A or P?
P.
Initial or final? Initial is P. So that's $1,300. At an annual interest rate of 4.3%. Do I use the 4.3?
No.
What do we use? 0.043. And it's compounded continuously, which means we're going to use this formula, right? This one right here. All right. It says find the amount you have in your account after 3 years. So the T is 3 years. So now I'm going to go ahead and plug into my formula, which is going to be A equals 1,300, E, and then RT, when they're written side by side, is that add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Multiply. So I'm going to take 0.043 times 3. And y'all, the hardest part of this is typing it in the calculator right. That's why they're out. Type this in. Don't just sit there. So we're going to take 1,300, and I'm going to put the E, which is on the LN button. E raised to 0.043 times 3.
Error.
What did I do? Did I not put the E? I was getting ready to yell at y'all too. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I know what I did.
Dang it, Miss Arthur.
Y'all, I didn't close the parenthesis. There we go. You got to close the parenthesis or you don't get the right answer.
Yeah. I didn't close it.
Well, mine said error. Okay, so I got 1478, and so it's money. So in the third decimal is 7, but this is 9. So how do I round? Up. I'm going to have to go to the whole number. So this is going to be a 9 and 0, 0. All right, number 2. So again, I see the word continuously, so I know I'm using the A equals P-E to the R-T, the PERT. So I need A, P, R, and T. So I invest $5,000 at 5.5%. It's compounded continuously. I want to know how long would it take to triple your money. So do I know the T?
No.
I don't. But if I start with 5,000 and I'm tripling it, how much do I end up with? Okay, so I'm going to write 15,000 equals 5,000 E raised to the 0.055 T. So I am going to divide by 5,000, but y'all look, when I divide by 5,000, what do I get on this side? What is 3? It's the triple. So sometimes they might not give you an amount. You would just put the triple on that side or the double on that side. Does that make sense? You may not know what you're going to start and end with. Okay, so I'm going to have E to the 0.055 T. And I would ask a question, but after looking at your tests, I don't want any of you to answer. I have a variable in my exponent. I've only taught you one way to get the variable out of the exponent. I'm going to take the log. However, I'm using E. That's why you got your grade. So, so instead of the E, I can't use log. What do I use when I have an E instead? No. We're going to use the natural log.
Natural log.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay. No. So those of you who haven't done any homework, you don't know what it is. Uh-huh.
What does it do?
Can I just finish?
I didn't know there was a
All right. So, the ln, I think there's a reminder over here, but if you have a base E, that's like having a base 10, and it's the ln of E. And we have done this on previous notes. This is exhausting. Yes. Okay. So before I move any further, on your handy dandy calculator, type in just ln of E. What do you get for an answer?
1.
You get 1 because the base of ln is E, right? And so these undo each other, right? And you just get 1 here. So how do I solve for the T?
Divide by 0.055.
So take the ln of 3 divided by 0.055, and I got 19.975 years.
Oh, yeah. So then T is 19.
Yes, so T is 19.975 years. About.
You got to be started. Tomorrow's Friday.
I know. So far away.
It's going to rain.
I know. Nobody will be here.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Number 3. So this is going to be continuous. So we're going to have A, P, R, and T. Now, it says at what rate of interest. So which one of these am I going to find? R. So I'm finding R, right? Which you need to double your money in 15 years. So the 15 years goes for T. But I don't have an A and a P. But what I do have is double. So we're going to say 2 is going to equal E to the R times 15. I need to take the r out of the exponent. I'm going to use the natural log because of the e. So I'm going to take the natural log of 2 is going to equal r times 15 and then ln of e. And what did we say the ln of e is? 1. So how do I solve for r? Divide by 15. And I got an r of approximately 0.046, which means that's going to be 4.6%. Okay, I would like you all to try 4A and B. See if you can get an answer.
It's 4 with the, is it 2,300? Oh, 464 and 66? Oh, yeah. Jeez, Jaylene.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Rogelio.
Okay, so for the next one, what are you going to have to find this time? Time, but I have my A this time. So I'm going to have 20,000 equals 15,000 e to the 0.065 t. Does everybody agree? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and divide. So when I do that, I have 20 over 15, and so that's really 4 over 3. I'm going to because I think it's easier to put in the calculator. And so now I have to get the t out of the exponent, and it's an e. So what do I take on both sides? So I'm going to do ln of 4/3 equals 0.065 t ln of e. And what did we say ln of e is equal to? This is 1. So how do I how do I solve for my t now? And so because I left it as the 4 over 3 like that, then it's super easy to put in the calculator, right? Yeah. So when you do that, I came up with t is approximately 4.426 years. So is anybody stuck? Questions? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. For part C, what's different about C, guys? What's different? So this one is what we did yesterday. So we need A, P, R, N, and T. Yes. Well, is it hard to remember PERT? P-E to the R-T? PERT. A equals P-E to the R-T, PERT. I don't know. Let me double check. I would think we'll probably write them. But I'm not committing to that till I talk to Mrs. McWhorter. But I would think we'd give you. Okay. So we invest $15,000. It pays 7%, which is 0.07. It's compounded quarterly, which is what? 4. 7 years. So I'm looking for A, right? So I'm doing A equals 15,000. 1 plus 0.07 over 4. And then it's raised to the NT, which means multiply. So 4 times 7 gives me 28. So y'all, before I write down how much I got, Which do you think is more, continuous or quarterly?
Continuous.
Continuous, right? Because they're doing it every day, so you'd have more money. So I came up with 2, 4, 3, 8, 19, which means the Garretts would earn, whoever it is, oh, Garnett's, right there, Garnett's, would earn approximately $738.59 less. So over 15 years, $738, that's a nice chunk of change, right? It makes a difference. So, y'all, when you invest your money in a bank, do you think they do quarterly or they do continuous?
Quarterly.
But on your credit cards, how are they computing your interest? Continuous.
It's a scam.
Better believe it. Indicate which method would earn the Garnetts the most and what would be the difference.
That's messed up.
So the continuous would earn them more, right?
Yeah.
How would the what would change? How could I earn more with the quarterly? If something changed, how would I earn more? More money. How about a higher percentage, right? If they were doing higher percentage, that might make a difference as well. Okay,